was listening to another Bashar. I just started listening to it, and what I noticed with it, he's got more than one coming through as Bashar, because today he had a bit of a different inflection in his speaking, and I've noticed on some of them are more easy to come through, and then the one that he has coming through is a bit he's always a bit jerky, rough, kind of, it's a different thing coming through, different quality, a different, the way that he comes through. Some of them come through are more gentle. Now, I think they all are from the same, perhaps, planetary influence, but the one that today he's bringing through has more of a different inflection in the voice, okay? And you notice that the way they come through is a bit different type of personality. The quality of it is a bit different. It's the same information, just as the same, thing you'll get from here, you'll get the same information, and they're bringing, again, I can't, so far what he has said has been right on. Now this time he's talking about personality and, bringing things through, etc. And about everything is all contained and it's eternal, and yes, all of that is true. Everything that will ever come into existence is in the divine is, the zero. So yes, and personality, people when they look at reincarnation think that it's going to be the same persona, the same personality, but when you come in, you develop different types of personalities depending on the experiences at hand. Yes, you're the same energetic person, but you could develop vastly different personalities depending on the situations you come into. Okay? So, yeah, it's one of those things too. Yes, it's the same energetic spark, we'll say it that way. You're always the same energetic spark, but the personality that develops can be vastly different depending on the life experience and wherever dimension or planetary thing you are accessing at that time, it will develop differently. Now, he talks about all of the things are going on at the same time because everything is eternal, yes. Also, that is true. There's only the now, okay? That's the only genuine reality is the present, which is eternal. It's kind of like when if you ever experience the Om or the sound of the universe, you hear it all at once, but it's eternal. Okay, it's again in the linear mind you can't understand it in the linear mind. It doesn't allow for that perception. But yes, it's eternal, and you hear it from again, beginning to end, but it's eternal. It's okay. It could be a mind bender if you're trying to figure it out. It's why you can't get to realization, etc., in a linear methodology people think that all they have to do is recite these truths and that suddenly they're just going to get it. No, there have to be shifts that happen, that take place. You can't just parrot, that's the way I want to say it. You can't parrot your way there. You know, you have the satsang sellers, there's nowhere to get, there's nothing to go, nowhere to go, there's nothing to get, you're already that. Well, if you were already that, and which you are in one sense, you would not be in suffering, okay? The fact that you are in suffering, parroting this stuff is not going to aid you. It doesn't work that way. You know, you could say you're the Queen of England all day, but it doesn't make it so, okay? That's not going to shift that, but you do have to do the practice and find out. It's like I say, you know, there's not one place that God is not equally everywhere. Now, people in their minds will say this is more spiritual or that's a more spiritual place, but it's only because they have viewed it so, but that's not the reality. The reality is that it's equally everywhere. There is no place that if you want to term God or the divine is, that is not in equal measure. But it's all about your perception, how you view it. That's why I say, you know, live your life in sacredness, okay? With that mentality of being the sacred, okay? Honesty, integrity, transparency, simplicity, sacredness, okay? If you live by those, you can't go wrong. But it's about developing that mindset, that view, that one is able to see that, and then it makes these shifts take place. But the shifts have to take place in your awareness first. It's like Bashar calls your belief systems. That has to change first, okay? Your awareness. Now, if you start seeing everything as sacred, living your life as sacred, in gratitude, simplicity, transparency, you know, integrity, if you start living like that, then shifts are definitely going to happen. To go through the, Here we go. Okay, thank you. The Border Patrol. So those shifts have to take place within you first, and then that reflects outward. So today he's kind of talking about, about the fact that everything happens within and then it reflects, okay? So in order for it to reflect differently, there has to be that inner change, is what he's getting to, in your belief system, okay? I say in your awareness rather than a belief system. Again, you could have a belief system, you're the Queen of England, but it doesn't make you the Queen of England. So I think that there has to be that shifts and perceptual shifts within, and then that reflects outwardly. It's like I said, when realization takes place and everything deconstructs, everything shifts in an instant. I call it the instant beyond time, okay? It's an immediate shift. A totally different cognition, a totally different awareness, a totally different, it changes your consciousness. And then through that knowing rather than a hope. Some people equate a belief system with a hope, that you